Hello and welcome to the Climate Conscious podcast. I'm your host, Durval Bazi, and this is the Demystify series. Join us as we unravel pressing climate and sustainability challenges and innovative solutions. Today, we are demystifying the plastic waste problem. On today's show, I am joined by Christian Wassermann, the founder of Plasticompact. Christian Wassermann is a family dad and German expat who has worked with the German Foreign Office for 25 years in various countries. Currently in Ankara, Turkey, he is a climate, environment, and cross-discipline enthusiast and the founder of Plasticompact. Christian, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, Daryl. Hi. Thank you so much for having me. It's a great pleasure to share some ideas about our project and get some new inspiration from your side as well, some new opinions, and just bulletproofing the idea about Plasticompact and incentivizing plastic trash pickup. That's what it's all about. So not magicking the trash away, but sorting it in a way. And I'm happy to talk you through the project and explain a bit how we try to build it. It's not there yet, but it's in the making, and hopefully the world will see it next April.
We're very excited on the Climate Conscious podcast to learn about new and innovative solutions to our sustainability challenges. So, plastics, a modern convenience or a menace to society? The 20th and 21st centuries are known as the plastic age. And while plastics offer many benefits, plastic waste is a big problem. This cheap, convenient, and widely used material can be a hazard to human health and natural ecosystems. For one, plastics are non-biodegradable and therefore accumulate in the environment. Microplastics enter the food chain and are ingested by humans. And plastic forms a significant portion of marine litter, which pollutes coastal ecosystems, harms wildlife, and also incurs costs for ongoing cleanup. Plastic waste has been found from Mount Everest to the deep ocean. It's everywhere. So solutions to this problem include reducing the consumption of plastics and addressing the end life of plastics by promoting circularity. And today, we're excited to learn about a solution being developed called Plasticompact. So Christian, let's dive right in. What is Plasticompact and how does it align with broader sustainability goals?
Yeah, thank you, Deborah. The intro absolutely nails it. So plastic waste has indeed become a major threat to human and nature well-being. It's found everywhere in the consumption chain, in the food chain, in the oceans, in the rivers. It's like being a hazard to like millions and billions of people. But in the last 50 years, it has increased in amount worldwide, and the projection until 2030 and 2050 even looks worse. So what we currently see is a lot of efforts from many international institutions, companies, communities, new business concepts appearing, trying to handle plastic waste, major scientific progress in research for new alternatives, replacing plastic packaging, etc., and offering alternative materials. But regardless all these efforts, we still have to clean up what's already out there. So that's what we are aiming at, and that's our part. We're the ones who try to provide a cleanup solution, to add a cleanup solution to the many ones that are already there. So what I noticed is looking at the topic that the community efforts like beach cleanups, river cleanups, like the large ocean cleanup project, and many, many hundreds and thousands of local communities tackling the topics are immensely growing during the last months and years. But if I look at myself, like being on the beach and my last posting in Tel Aviv, I always try to leave the place a bit better than found. So I always collected like a few handfuls of plastic trash, but I never found the time to actually join a community effort. So I thought, how could we eventually get this connect and offer an incentive for the individual to actually just clean up a few handfuls on the go? And this is what we're trying to build with Plasticompact, incentivizing micro trash picking with micro rewards. And I briefly outline how it should work. So let's say I go to the local beach or to my office or on the way to school or just to my workplace elsewhere. I pick a few handfuls of plastic trash. I photograph and geotag them with my cell phone, and I carry them from this pickup zone to a drop zone. A drop zone would be a local bin, a local recycling station, just a local trash bin, eventually the best available standard. Then I drop the handfuls and photograph and geotag them again. So then the app that we are building around that would know, oh, yes, this is plastic trash. Oh, yes, this is the same trash that is dumped that has previously been picked up and we haven't seen it before. And I will get an immediate reward, a micro reward called a Plastico into this app on my cell phone. So with this reward, I can then redeem micro discounts at local shops. Let's say my local bakery, my local cafe, my local bike shop, many other options available. And now the catch of it, there might be people who just would like to get involved into this, but would not necessarily use their Plastico for a micro offer, a micro discount somewhere. Those people could also sell their Plastico to other collectors who can then use them for micro discounts and micro. So we're actually trying to create a currency out of plastic trash here. And this being the collector side, facing the rewarder side, which is then local companies of different size, like small size, medium size, can also be large companies who want to green grow their business and who would like to reward those people for cleaning up the planet and leaving the planet better than found. And I've test walked the project here with a few companies in Ankara, which have been like bike shops, bakeries, convenience stores, even large hotels when we were traveling in Turkey on vacation here. And they were all for it because it's a micro investment. It's a micro reward only, but it's still not greenwashing. It's an actual benefit. It's real action on a micro scale. But then scaled to 16 billion hands, it becomes something. And that is our sincere hope, to grow the community on the collectors and on the rewarder side and connect people over plastic trash and connect people over cleaning up the planet.
So let me make sure I get this right. Plasticompact is essentially an app that involves a pickup zone, a drop zone, geotagging at both of those locations. The collector would obtain an immediate micro reward, which as these accumulate, they can then be redeemed for micro discounts at select rewarders.
Exactly.
You also mentioned about creating a currency, and I would love for you to shed some more light on that.
Yeah, certainly. So imagine a family that's living in a rural area somewhere, and let's say this family would need an additional micro income of, let's say, even €1 a day out of plastic trash being around them in the landscape, in cities, around cities. So if a collector then would get involved, collect, let's say, 10 handfuls of plastic trash a day and sell the benefits, the plasticos, to other collectors inside this app, he or she could then convert the reward, the plastico, into real money or a virtual currency like any other currency, basically. That's also what the app will provide, a marketplace to trade these rewards, because not everyone would then use them immediately to get a second coffee or to get a second-hand bike. So this is actually where we hope Plasticompact will become SDG relevant, because it then would really create a chance for a micro income of €1 per day for collectors. And why €1 per day? Because we want to create a fraud-safe system here. And fraud safety also comes from the micro amount that you are limited to pick up, which is 10 handfuls per day, not more. And this will be part of the fraud safety strategy of this whole thing, because then we, of course, would not want people to move trash around and then reward it again and again, take their trash from home or do any other thing that counteracts what we actually want here to clean up the planet. So you can pick up in pickup zones, you can drop in drop zones. That's the system, and the amount is limited.
Okay, so I can't make a living off of Plasticompact, but I can generate micro income that could supplement my existing income. So when the trash is dropped off at the drop location, what happens next?
Yeah, I said it in like my first sentences. We will not magic the trash away. But what we currently see is that there's no proper sorting. At the moment, science progresses to explore ways to actually better treat plastic waste, better than currently recycling the famous or infamous 9% only. And there are very promising attempts with like fungi, mealworms, bacteria. We've all seen that during the last weeks and months in the news, on social media. It had made huge waves. We're not there yet. But my hope and my idea is that at a certain point in time, material and bioscience will have progressed in a way that actual waste treatment will be possible. And then by itself, plastic waste will become a resource, which it isn't now. At the moment, it's just seen as trash, and we want to see it as a value. So back to your question, if the trash is dropped at the drop zone, this will be the best local available standard, whatever is there. This might be a recycling station. This might just be a trash bin. This might be anything existent as of now. So Plasticompact will, for now, not install a separate system to collect or handle trash, but just work cell phone based. The reason for this is that we want to make it accessible to everyone in as many places as possible. And then the idea behind this is, if many, many people collect this trash by micro amounts, the intake into waste treatment systems on municipality level will increase heavily. And this then, in a second step, will create pressure on municipalities to install proper waste treatment systems better than they have now. That's the midterm and long-term aim that we're looking at. And of course, for now, most of it will be kept in landfills as it is now, but it's not spread around nature. It's focused, it's sorted, it's available for later treatment. That's the big health benefit, that we get the trash out of our daily environment, out of the woods, out of the cities, away from the sides of the streets, away from the beaches, and try to get as many of it sorted. And it will also hopefully decrease the intake of plastic trash to rivers and oceans. And ocean plastic is a very fancy topic currently. We're not tackling that. We're trying to get hold of it before it reaches even the water.
So, Christian, what inspired you to tackle the issue of plastic waste?
Well, a lot of traveling and a lot of ugly pictures while traveling, actually. So, I mean, especially as a family dad, you notice these things. And when driving around Turkey, it's just an example of many other countries. There's a lot of plastic trash by the sides of the streets. Also, like in a beautiful country with beaches like Israel and also Turkey, you find a lot of plastic while being on the beach. But it's not so much a beach topic for me. I lived close to the sea for a few years, so then of course it struck me. And I told you before that we always, also with the kids, try to leave the places where we spend time in nature a bit better than we found them. And we had this habit to collect a few handfuls. And I thought, if many other people could get an incentive to actually also do that, that could make huge impact, scaling this micro action to an atomic habit for everyone. And I mean, the largest inspiration probably come from the kids. So we're doing this for the world, for ourselves, but also to leave the place better for them.
I think Plasticompact, when it is fully deployed, will create opportunities for other pioneers and other innovators to address other legs of this circular economy when it comes to plastic waste.
Yeah, I mean, and also if we look at the rewarders side, there's an impact. Let's take a random cafe that decides to become a rewarder in Plasticompact. Then there will be a certain group of clients attracted to that business who are also conscious about sustainability. And then will this cafe continue to give out plastic straws? No. Will this cafe continue to give out single-use plastic and put more waste in the environment? Certainly not, because this will not be in line with their business strategy and with the expectations of the clients. So I hope, and I see from the reactions of the companies that I talked to already, that this will also impact their policy and their economic and business behavior and shift it towards maybe spending a bit more time on thinking about how to replace non-essential plastic with other alternatives that are coming up, like seaweed, like other biomaterials that can function as packaging, like regrowable single-use cutlery. There's a famous company like coming up in Dubai now, Bloom Spoon, that produces cutlery that you can plant into the ground after you've used it, and then it will transform into plants. It's just, I mean, beautiful things coming up. If only people took the time to communicate about it and to see a bit further ahead and not grab the cheapest stuff and cheapest single-use throwaway plastic available. And that's a major shift in business behavior that I sincerely hope will come out of Plasticompact, the more rewarders we get on board.
This program will definitely serve well as part of companies and organizations' ESG initiatives, demonstrating their commitment to reducing their waste, or at least diverting it away from the environment.
Yeah, and I mean, we have this topic on a larger scale around us already. under the name of plastic credits. Now there's a growing amount of companies that are paying other institutions to clean up certain areas from plastic waste. Let's say I grab a random example from my home country, Germany, Everwave or CleanUp.io. That's both organizations that get financed by companies and then cleaning up larger areas, rivers, waterways, with a lot of volunteers and paid staff. They're doing great work, and this will not be like in competition with Plasticompact, because what we are doing is then micro amounts only and individuals only. But what I want to say is we have this plastic credit discussion, and a lot of companies are trying to green grow their business through that without like stepping into the dirty area of greenwashing, but having an actual impact. So this is then where companies can have a real impact with a real micro investment. And this only lives by, scaling it up for like millions of users. And if we get enough people interested in this concept, it will fly. And if not, it will die. But the idea is still to connect over the trash topic and doing something like plastic credits, but better.
I know that this initiative is in its development stage.
Yeah.
One question that comes to mind, do you think that collectors would be incentivized enough? Are these micro rewards significant enough to incentivize changes in behavior?
Yeah, we discussed this a lot here. If this micro thing is heavy enough to attract people to it. I think yes, because it addresses people, like mainly two groups of people. First group is people who anyway want to better the world with a tiny investment of time, a tiny effort. When I look at like people around me traveling, let's say Asian countries or also Latin American countries, I saw that they were always interested in like leaving places better than found and adding some value to the places that they visited through connections, through like supporting what they find on the ground a bit, and not just taking pictures and leaving and taking from the place itself. So these people probably would not need a very heavy incentive to act on something. And there's actually a bunch of similar apps already that are assessing the topic through play, through community efforts, through leaderboard competitions, etc. But Plasticompact then tries to not do it only for community karma competition, but also for a micro business incentive, like a micro value. And this leads to the second group of people who would look at that €1 micro income a day. And I think that might be relevant for a very large group of people, actually, because then the money, even if small, is just lying on the street around them.
So being a pioneer, as in any space, including the climate space, I know there would be challenges. So far in your journey, what has been your biggest challenge in developing Plasticompact, and what has been your greatest lesson along this journey?
Yeah, there's a very clear answer to that, funding. So if you come up with an idea, you meet a lot of people who like the idea, who find it interesting, who share input to enrich the idea through discussion. But funding, actually putting money into this, is a hard thing to get. And as we have to actually not only invent and design the idea, but also build the application, this requires resources, and we're really struggling with that, to be frank. But as we get so much great feedback and meet so many people being reacting positively and contributing to the idea, I'm confident that we will end up finding a few interested parties who will help us progress. And I mean, the biggest lesson probably is yet to come. We're very early in the stages of building this scheme and this application. We have a very clear idea. It looks great in the design. The coders are working on it. We have talked to businesses. We have talked to a lot of people, and I mean, there's overwhelming positive feedback, and that carries me like every day to continue with the efforts. It's still a job of a family dad after dinner, so it's going really slow. But I hope to enlarge the team a bit in the next months, and then build something from it. And we'll try to get to stay curious and attentive and continue to listen to what people tell us about the idea and how they refer back to us to it. Because that's, I mean, being a learner from the connections that you get over the topic and from the opinions that you collect, that's the biggest source of innovation for us.
So is Plasticompact based on a sustainable business model, or would it be dependent on, let's say, grants funding or donor funding to be sustained?
Yeah, so we've started to crowdfund currently, which is going really bad, but we'll remain confident. And as explained, we just do one step after the other. We will fund a social startup for this, and then try to also participate in a few calls that are addressing plastic pollution awareness. We're currently designing an entry for an open call that addresses plastic pollution awareness around the Mediterranean countries. And then within this entry, we focus our part on the Plasticompact project and add some connections to local communities, artists, individuals who are in the topic. And we try to gain more attention to that, eventually get some funding, and also most of all, learn from it and bulletproof the idea and build it strong enough to attract as many collectors and rewarders as possible, because that will be the key to success, to get interest from both of these groups.
So how do you plan to scale Plasticompact and make all of these benefits accessible to various communities across the globe, and in particular the Global South?
Yeah. So for now, we are trying to grow the community of collectors and the community of rewarders. And you also can pre-register already for Plasticompact. Our target date to pitch the project and launch it in an early stage is next April. We're visiting Change Now in Paris, and we will try to present it there to a larger audience. Growing the community of collectors and rewarders also means to reach out to local communities in a lot of different countries. So we'll try to connect to communities who are focusing on plastic trash cleanups. I've done a lot of Insta Lives lately to connect to these larger audiences and to get people on board who are already interested in the topic. And then on the other end, growing the community of rewarders would mean to explain the benefit to the business to these companies, and we'll try to circulate a few media kits and talk to a lot of companies directly, which is the most effective actually, to be in direct contact and to convince companies of the idea. And yeah, we hope to then have a kind of a growing cell that would spread to a larger audience, lots of communities. And once we have the app, then a larger audience can also be reached more easily, of course. And yeah, I mean, once we have an active system and it's attractive and people see, oh, this works nicely, I can do something nice for the planet and still get a benefit on top, people might like it. And that's the thing then. People like it or not. And we hope to reach the first point.
And I think more and more people are mindful of the need to do better when it comes to stewarding our environment. And this is just one way that we can all contribute, whether as a rewarder or a collector, contribute to a healthier environment.
To add one point, there's another fancy topic currently going through the media, which is climate anxiety. Now, what is this? Climate anxiety, to sum it up in a non-professional way, is about an anxiety about something you can't control. Now, Plasticompact then gives you a tiny action that you actually can control, that you can master, that you can integrate in your daily habit. And there's a side benefit that I see here to also put people back in control regarding environmental issues, climate change topics, because it's not only pointing fingers, but everyone can do a tiny part by him or herself here. And this, in the end, can be fun.
Yes. So what advice, based on your experience along this journey so far, would you give to another social entrepreneur with an idea for a solution to an environmental sustainability challenge?
Yeah, talk to as many people as you can, and choose the ones that have a different opinion, because it bulletproofs you. And if you can convince those people, your idea might not be too bad. That's what I did in the first weeks and months, and I continue it until now. I mean, it's always pleasant to hear a similar opinion and to get confirmation and support. But then if you can get recognition of someone who has a diametral different opinion when you go into the meeting, into the talk, into the connection with this person, this actually like elevates both of your ideas and helps you to really grow your concept.
Yeah, so don't be afraid of criticism or the hard questions.
Best you can get.
So, Christian, what do you foresee as the major impact of Plasticompact once it comes on stream?
Yeah, I mean, my sincere wish is that this thing will go viral and will really become a fancy thing to do. As an impact, as I mentioned earlier, I see in the midterm and long-term time frame to put more pressure on the local waste treatment systems, politically on a municipality level, and then also on a national and maybe international level on the longer run. If you have a larger group of people that, and also of businesses especially, that turn more attentive to this topic, it will hopefully also change the way local politics think about an investment in plastic pollution awareness and beating plastic pollution. Because in the end, this will be a value for them to satisfy their voters and their local companies, their local residents, who then might be collectors in many ways. So this will hopefully spark discussions first on the municipality level. And once there's better waste treatment systems available, we hope to get a more proactive to get a more proactive way that local municipalities tackle these questions and dive into them.
Well, Kristen, I'm definitely looking forward to the evolution of this initiative and seeing it come on stream. I do wish you the best in terms of securing funding and
thank you.
scaling and expanding.
Yeah, I mean, I hope to see you again hear you again when in Paris. So you'll get a fresh update from us then, of course, next April latest, and be in touch until then.
So tell us about Paris.
Yeah, so the midterm target is to pitch and launch the project Plasticompact during Change Now in Paris. That's next April. And until then, we hope to be able to present a basic functionality of our app, to share it with a larger audience. And yeah, I'm happy to have you as a guest, Deval, on video when in Paris as well, and get some insights and opinions from your side. Yeah.
Yes. So what are you hoping to gain from presenting at Paris?
So we first of all hope to reach a larger audience of people, institutions, communities who are into sustainability topics, and also to get opinions and fresh opinions about the idea, and about like maybe additional and other concepts to tackle plastic pollution. Because I think it's like, if you connect with people who are somehow acting on the same topic, even if different opinions, it's enriching your own view and teaching you something. And that's our main gain that we hope to get from meeting people there. And I mean, it's also a self-made target date to force us to somehow move forward and have something to present there. Not the worst thing to have. Thank you, Deval, for the opportunity to present our project here. And yeah, for everyone who wants to know more about it, to follow our path a bit during the next months, you can follow the project on social media. The Insta handle is @Plasticompact. The website is www.plasticompact.org. And if you have questions, or like if you want to contribute with ideas, with whatever talent you have, you're more than welcome to join our team and connect with us. And yeah, I mean, to spark the idea and help it grow. And yeah, my best wishes for your podcast as well. Lots of interesting topics have been around there and coming up, I guess. And I'll happy to see more from you.
Thank you, Christian. And we're definitely looking out for future updates on Plasticompact. If you found this episode insightful, we'd love for you to share it with your network, leave us a review, or let us know your thoughts on our social media platforms. And don't forget to subscribe to the Climate Conscious Podcast so you won't miss another episode of the Demystify series.